Good afternoon. My name is Jose Pages. I am a third year mathematics major, and this is my presentation from Lab 1 of Physics 2212 in the fall 2022 semester. So, the first experiment was called charge tapes. So, our purpose was to understand and apply Coulomb's law. We wanted to estimate the amount of charge on a piece of U-tape and determine how two objects interact and how charges move within them. So our overview of this presentation would be starting off with an introduction, followed by some computational modeling done both in GlowScript and using a calculation and done manually. Moreover, we will review the results, and finally, we will leave with some closing questions and remarks. So first, I wanted to introduce some important concepts used in this program, in this experiment. So we have the Coulomb's law, as you may see on the right, is F equals K divided by Q1 times Q2 divided by R squared and R hat. Similarly, we have the electric fields formula, the force due to gravity, the force and electric fields, the Newton's second law, and finally the Newton's third law. As you may see, all of them are to the right, so yes. Now we will pass on into the introduction. This is the diagram setup and data. So for the steps, first we had to settle in all of our materials and just gather them around. Then we cut the tapes and make sure they were in U shape. Following that, we used the tapes and the pens to create a charge on this field, and after that we measured the distance and computed its charge. So as you may see on the top right and top right and bottom right, you can see how I completed each of the steps. Moreover, the measured distance vertically between both of my tapes was 2.5 centimeters or 0.025 meters, and the length of my tape was 20 centimeters for both, for the tape A and tape B. Moreover, now we will review some of the calculations I did. All of these calculations were computed manually using an online calculator. So we have the surface area, which is the length times the width. We have the number of atoms. We have the force of gravity. This one is extremely important as it will be the one that we will be comparing it to. So yeah, we'll be comparing to the results I did manually and the one we did in GlowScript. Similarly, the tape charge is also really important. So now we will move on to the GlowScript, the computations. And yeah, here you can see it's just some basic coding. We are defining our variables and assigning the specific measurements to them. Furthermore, we proceeded to define and calculate and print the force of gravity. Moreover, on the second page of computations, we have the electric force on the tapes. So this is the main point of our experiment, and we would like to see the results to compare them with the one I did manually. Therefore, moving on to our results or our output, you can see on the right our output of the code. We have this more or less 2 or 3D image, and the magnitude of the electric force came out to be 3.24 times 10 to the negative 4, and the magnitude of the gravitational force came out to be 1.948 times 10 to the negative 3. So I am extremely happy with these results, especially with the gravitational force, as the margin of error was just 2%. Similarly, the margin of error for electric force was around 12%. This may be due to a mixture of random and systematic errors. Finally, moving to the closing questions and final remarks, we have the question that what if electrons had positive charge and protons had negative charge? I responded that there will be no change in the outcome of our program. Similarly, this will have no impact on the observations made in the real world. And finally, we had asked why it's important to handle the charged tape as little as possible. So it is important to handle the tape as little as possible, given at the moment it gets in contact, it will start to release its charge, and we are trying to maintain all of the charge possible in the tape and make sure they don't start transferring charge. So, yes, this was my experiment one. I had a lot of fun doing it, and please let me know if you have any other questions.